What if the one man who could save the world decided it wasn't worth saving anymore? What if the symbol of hope became its greatest threat? He's faster than a speeding bullet, more powerful than any being alive. He can hear a whisper across continents and lift mountains with ease, without breaking a sweat. But despite all that power, there's one thing that makes Superman truly terrifying. The fact that no one can stop him if he ever decides not to be our hero. In the darkest corners of comic book lore, it took just one tragedy. The Joker, in his twisted genius, manipulated Superman into killing Lois Lane, his wife, his unborn child, his tether to humanity. And in that moment, the Man of Steel shattered. What emerged from the ashes was a god with no tolerance for evil. He established an iron-fisted regime, executed villains without trial, ruled Earth through fear and intimidation. Former allies became adversaries. Liberty became a distant memory. Even in the main DC universe, Superman treads a precarious line. Batman understands this implicitly. That's why he always carries kryptonite. The Justice League, they've devised contingencies for every possible threat. But a rogue Superman is a nightmare that keeps them awake at night. Because when Superman falls, the entire world crumbles with him. And it's not limited to a single reality. In one timeline, he crash lands in Soviet Russia, reshaping the globe under a communist banner. In another, his evil doppelganger Ultraman leads a sinister crime syndicate, ruling through brutality and fear. In yet another future, Superman Prime 1,000,000 evolves, beyond humanity or turning as an all-powerful cosmic entity. We witness the chilling truth. When Superman strays from his path, entire universes pay the price. But here is the twist that haunts us most. It is not his raw power that we truly fear. It's the weight of his choices. Because Superman isn't terrifying due to any inherent evil, but because of the potential for darkness that lies within him. And yet, day after day, he chooses restraint. He chooses to believe in humanity, even when we lose faith in ourselves. That's what defines him as a true hero. That's why we dread what he might become, and why we fervently hope he never succumbs to that darkness. Because if Superman ever abandons his role as our protector, no one can shield us from his wrath. The idea of a corrupted Superman has captivated audiences for decades. It taps into our deepest fears about power and its potential for abuse. We admire his strength, his unwavering moral compass, but we can't help but wonder, what if it all went wrong? What if the beacon of hope we've come to rely on suddenly became the source of our greatest despair? It's a scenario that writers have explored time and time again, each iteration more chilling than the last. Because Superman isn't just a hero, he's a force of nature, a being so powerful that the very fabric of reality bends to his will. And that's what makes the prospect of his fall so terrifying. It's not just about losing a hero, it's about facing an unstoppable force of destruction, one that knows our weaknesses, our fears, our deepest secrets, one that could reshape the world in his image, or reduce it to ashes. The Justice League or its mightiest heroes would be little more than an inconvenience to a truly unleashed Superman. Even cosmic entities like Darkseid tread carefully around the Man of Steel, because they know the terrifying truth. There's no force in the universe quite like an unchained Kryptonian. But perhaps the most chilling aspect of this scenario is how easily it could happen. One bad day, one moment of weakness, one push too far. That's all it would take to turn our greatest protector into our ultimate nemesis. And in that moment, as the sky darkens and hope fades, we'd realize the true cost of relying on a god among men. Because when Superman falls, he doesn't just fall alone. He takes our dreams, our aspirations, our very future with him. And in the end, that's why everyone fears a rogue Superman. Not just because of what he could do to us, but because of what his fall would mean for humanity itself. It would be the ultimate betrayal of trust, the final nail in the coffin of our collective hope. So we watch, we wait, we hold our breath, praying that the Man of Steel remains just that, a man with all the strength and compassion that entails. Because if Superman ever stops being our savior, no one can save us from him.